What's up everyone? Currently back here in Dubai, currently staying at the Burj Al Arab. As you guys know, last time I did record a morning routine, I actually stayed here, and this is one of my favorite places when I do come back to Dubai. But now it's 2026 and I have a full updated travel routine. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you exactly what is in my travel setup, and it's right here. So everything that I need to trade while I'm traveling is right here in the suitcase. So I'm gonna break down what's inside, and I'm gonna show you guys all my necessities, my computers, my laptops, my phones, and just everything that I need to trade while I'm traveling. Okay, so now let's first open up this suitcase. As I mentioned, everything that I do need is inside. Basically everything that I have here is a necessity. So first things first, what we have right here is my laptop. So this is what powers everything up. I personally trade on a MacBook. It's a 14-inch. I can't remember exactly what processor. I think it's an M3 chip, but this is where it powers everything up. This is what I use on a day-to-day basis. Second, what I have here is my dual monitor screens. A lot of you guys have been asking what these dual monitor screens are. They're just portable double display that connects straight to your laptop via USB-C. You can get this from Amazon. Basically, it's about a few $100 from Amazon, and I connect this straight to my laptop. So this is what I have. Of course, I have my mouse pad here. I have a few other accessories like my microphone. Of course, this is not necessary for most traders, but as you guys know, I do the pre-market prep and live trade in front of thousands of traders. So of course, I need good audio quality. Moving on to the top section, this is honestly my favorite. First of all, always gotta stay hydrated. As you guys know, I drink a lot of water since I talk a lot, so I always keep my water bottle handy. I've honestly been using this for 6-7 years. All right, moving on. Let's go on to this camera cube right here. As you guys can see, what I have in this camera cube, I have a couple phones here just because I need some for executions. I need good internet, of course. If I am somewhere in the hotel, let's say, has bad Wi-Fi, I need 5G internet just to make sure I have good connection. Other things that I have in here, a bunch of chargers. I have my mouse. I personally don't like the trackpad, so I have the mouse here. And of course, I have a phone holder as well. That's honestly about it in this camera cube. And then in this right here, I have some more accessories that I use. Let's take a look. It's honestly not that much, but let's just bring this out. This right here, not a necessity, but honestly, it's a necessity for me. It's basically a charging bank that I can use. Since currently we are in Dubai, it doesn't use the standard charging bank, which I have no clue why. But this right here, honestly, one of the best investments you can make, charging bank. It can charge up to a couple iPhones, your computer, whatever you need, so you just don't run out of power. And then what else do I have? That's honestly about it. So that's basically my travel setup right there. I'm gonna set it up now and show you guys exactly what it looks like once it's fully set up. And then once the charts are running, of course, I have my broker set up as well. All right, so now I'm gonna be taking you through what my actual layout looks like here on the computer. So let's first start off on the left-hand side. So this is an external display. Right here, as you can see, I have my Discord pulled up. I'm gonna have the Zoom chat here as well. And of course, as you can see right here, this is my phone. And this is where I do all of my executions is on a mobile device. This is what I do when I am traveling. And the broker of choice that I'm gonna be using throughout 2026, of course, is going to be Moomoo. So this is the broker that I use to execute all my trades on when I'm trading options, futures, and stocks. As for my charting platform, right here in the middle, I am currently using TradingView. So as you can see, this is my 4-chart layout here. I have the 2 major indices on the left-hand side, and I have some of my top watches that I'm looking for. And then I have the exact same thing on the right-hand side as well. I have another 4-chart layout, which is just a bunch of other names as well that I'm looking for coming into the day. So this is basically what my travel setup looks like with my computer and of course my external displays as well. And then some other things that I do have, just a mouse pad, some other accessories as you can see here with my microphone, which isn't really needed, of course. If you are traveling, you really just need a computer, internet, and a phone as well. All right, so I just finished up my pre-market game plan. The market is about to open in about 30 minutes here. I'm gonna show you now exactly the charts that I'm looking for coming into today. First things first, as you can see, we're on the SPY chart. Currently, the key levels that we have coming into today is gonna be that previous day highs along with that previous day lows. Currently, we are in between the middle of the range. So what I'd like to see is the break above your previous day highs for continuation up and towards the next key level, or the potential break below the previous day lows for a push down in towards our low of the week. If we go on to the QQQ, fairly similar game plan coming into today. Key levels that we have marked out is going to be that previous day highs along with that previous day lows. What we like to see break above, retest for continuation higher, or the break below your previous day lows in a push towards the downside. And as for some tech names coming into today here, we're currently on Tesla. Key level is going to be that 490, potential break above your 490 for a push up and towards our all-time highs. Another key watch I'm keeping an eye out on is going to be Nvidia. The key level that I have marked out in this case is your 176.50s. Currently, we are kind of just ranging in this general area, but if we can break above your 176.50, potentially we can see a nice move up and towards 178 and potentially 180. I am fairly bullish on a lot of the semiconductors here, specifically on Nvidia and AMD. We recently just had bullish earnings on MU, so that's going to help out the whole semiconductor theme. So I'm expecting a nice rally into end of year on the major indices and on the semiconductors in specific. So with this being said, the market is about to open here in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to get ready for market open here now. I'll take you guys through a live session, and then I'll pick the camera back up once I'm finished the live session, and then we'll go over a market recap. Okay, right now, as you can see, QQQ, the market is opening first 1 minute candle here. I'd like to see the Qs above your 613 here, which is your previous day's highs. If we can get above that, we can see some continuation here in the market laid out on the pre-market plan. QQQ above 613 here is going to be key. EMD above your 205.50 is in play here as well. I do like Nvidia potentially above your 177. We'll keep an eye out on Nvidia. So far, Tesla is rejecting off of your 488, so I'll be a little bit more cautious off this previous day highs. Okay, so QQQ pushing up here right now within the first couple of minutes. A lot of strength coming in here on the QQQ. All right, Nvidia showing strength here. QQQ breaking above your previous day highs here, 613. Palantir also popping as well. My two main watches here are going to be Palantir along with Nvidia. If you can get that QQQ break above your 613 here, I am going to be looking for your previous day highs to hold for that continued push back towards the upside. So we got that 1 minute candle close. Now let's see if we can use this level as a retest here on the QQQ above your previous day high 613 for that continued push towards the upside. All right, let's keep an eye out on the QQQ here. As you can see right now, we are immediately retesting that previous day highs 613. Let's keep an eye out on the QQQ. As long as you can maintain above your 613, I am going to have a bullish stance here on the overall markets. As for Palantir, nice push up kind of into this 190 last week's highs. Nvidia actually showing a lot of relative strength here compared to the markets as well. Semis pushing up nicely here along with AMD. Let's keep an eye out on Nvidia. Now it's going to be the break above your 5 minute range high here, 178. As for the QQQ, we're going to keep an eye out on this 205 here. That 205 is going to be a key level. So far, the QQQ is holding up. All right, the QQQ is coming back down here. Let's keep an eye out on this 613. This is your previous day highs, exact level that we like to see hold on the overall markets. I'm actually potentially even interested in the QQQ retest here as well. What I'll be looking for is the 614 calls here on the QQQ. Let's keep an eye on the QQQ here. Let's see if there's any sort of buyers that do step in here off your previous day highs. As for Nvidia, I still like this one here as well. All right, let's keep an eye out on the QQQ retest here. Buyers are stepping in right off our previous day highs so far. I am interested in Nvidia here as well. Keep an eye out on the 178 calls here on Nvidia, the 178 calls here. So far, a lot of buyers stepping in here on the QQQ very aggressively here off your previous day highs. AMD, really solid bounce here as well. This one's back at high of day. All right, my main watch here is going to be NVIDIA. Let's keep an eye out on this 178 here, your 5-minute range high. I will actually be even potentially interested in being a little bit more aggressive here above your 5-minute range high, your 178, just because of the QQQ previous day high retest. Overall markets, as long as we maintain above that previous day highs here on the Qs, I am very much bullish here on the overall markets. As I mentioned, I'm interested in the 178 calls here on NVIDIA. If we can break above your 5-minute range high here and get some sort of immediate retest or a candle close above, I'll be looking at the 178 calls, here on NVIDIA. All right, QQQ retesting here. Let's keep an eye on the Qs. NVIDIA, let's see if any buyers step in. If you can get that strong 1-minute candle close, I'll be looking at the 178 calls here. So far, QQQ buyers are stepping in. All right, I just entered in some of the 178 calls here on NVIDIA. The 178 calls, average price around 130 here. QQQ, beautiful retest so far, holding above your previous day highs. A little bit more of an aggressive entry here on NVIDIA, but I am looking for that push higher here now. Just based off the QQQ context, you can see the buyers stepping in right off the bat. What I'll be looking for now is a push up in towards your 180 here, along with the Qs. I'd like to see a lot of buyers step in here now. Nice push towards the upside so far here on the QQQ. Nice buyers on the Qs. Look at NVIDIA, solid push towards the upside here. Nice push higher, right up and towards this 179. What I'm looking for now is going to be this 180. That's going to be my first take profit level. Really solid push up there on NVIDIA. Let's see if we can get this push up and towards your 180 here now. QQQ super solid here as well. Yeah, super solid bounce. Potentially, you could have caught the QQQ retest off that 613 previous day highs. NVIDIA, we're in a very good spot here on NVIDIA. Nice solid break above that 5-minute range high. You can see buyers stepping in immediately. I'm going to be looking to scale some at this 180 key level. That is my first take profit here on NVIDIA. AMD, solid push towards the upside here, right in towards our last week's lows here now. So really solid push up on a lot of these semiconductors here, specifically AMD and NVIDIA. Palantir, also nice push here as well. All right, NVIDIA approaching my first take profit here, 180. I'm gonna look to take some off here. All right, I'm taking some profits here on NVIDIA, looking to scale 50% of my position up into this 180. This is my first take profit. I am expecting a little bit of reaction here off this 180. Nice pop. Looking to take some off here. All right, taking some off here on NVIDIA up into this 180 key level, around 220-ish a contract here. I'm up close to $1 a contract here on NVIDIA. Super solid trade. As you can see, it's approaching our higher time frame key level here. Qs is approaching a key level here as well. So I'm looking to take some profits on NVIDIA. I closed about 50% of my position. Now I'm just going to be looking to hold my remaining trailers here on NVIDIA. As you can see, a little bit of reaction there right off our 180, perfect key level there. Now we're getting a little bit of a reaction. Okay, so for NVIDIA now, what I'd really like to see is the hold really of this kind of 9 EMA here. QQQ kind of consolidating, momentum slowing down just a little bit. As for NVIDIA, I want to see if this first dip can get bought back up. I am still holding 50% of my position. I want to see if we can get that next push up and towards this 180 and above here. I am going to maintain NVIDIA as long as we can maintain above this 179.20. I like to see NVIDIA build up higher lows here. All right, QQQ holding up so far fairly nicely. Let's see if we can get that NVIDIA pop here up and towards high of day. AMD still holding up. Qs, I like to see a push up and towards high of day here as well. SPY's holding up above your 679 nicely. Let's see if we can get that NVIDIA pop here now up and towards this 180.50. All right, let's see if we can get this QQQ push up in towards high of day here. NVIDIA, I'm looking for that pop up in towards high of day. When we get that pop up in towards high of day, I am gonna look to take some more off here up into this 180.40. Yeah, looking to take some more off here on NVIDIA up into this 180.40. Taking some more off here as it makes a brand new high of day. Let's see if we can get that QQQ push. Nice solid pop here on NVIDIA, taking more off up into 250-ish a contract. I'm out about 80% of my position here now. QQQ high of day here. NVIDIA solid pop. Sweet pop up and towards this 180.50. Q's brand new high of day. SPY brand new high of day. All names making new high of day here. Taking some more off here on NVIDIA up into this pop. up about $1.50 a contract. Beautiful so far. Out about 90% of my position here up into this 180.50 on Nvidia. Look at that, a little bit of reaction there. Beautiful scales up into that 180.50. At least now for my remaining position, I only have about 10% left. And now I'm just gonna be holding it for really the break of this 180. Okay, so I just finished up my live trading session for today, and I honestly couldn't have asked for a better session. We ended up taking Nvidia towards the upside, right above our key levels that we talked about in the pre-market game plan. QQQ ended up being a perfect retest as well above the previous day highs, and that's what really dragged the market towards the upside. And as you can see, this is the exact trade we ended up taking on Nvidia. We had a really strong push right off the bat within the first 5 minutes of market open. Once we saw that relative strength, the QQQ at the exact same time was showing a lot of bullish price action, and you can see as soon as price broke above that 5-minute range high, the reason why I was a little bit more aggressive was because QQQ was retesting at the exact same time. If you go into the QQQ chart, you can see break above your previous day highs, perfect retest with the buyer stepping in right above our 613, and then you can see really strong push towards the upside right in towards our next key level. So that's what really gave me the conviction to long Nvidia towards the upside, and that's why I was being a little bit more aggressive. So once that reclaim happened above your 5-minute range high, that's when I ended up taking those 178 calls towards the upside. And as soon as we entered on this candle close, you can see really strong push towards the upside, scaled some of my position up and towards this 180, and then you can see that first dip got bought up and then sold 90% of my position up and towards 180.50, and then ended up cutting the remaining trailers once it broke back underneath this 180. So that ended up being a super solid trade, one of the better days of the month. A lot of trends in the markets, on semis, and on the major indices as well. And as you can see, this is my P&L for today on Nvidia. I ended up taking the 178 calls, ended up making $10,800. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows though. I ended up taking a Tesla swing as well that I ended up taking a loss on. But as for the day trades, ended up being super solid. If we're looking at my executions here, you can see I ended up taking the 178 calls. Perfect entry once we got that candle close above your 5-minute range high, scaled some up into that 180, and then as you can see, left the remaining contracts for that 180.50, and then ended up cutting the remaining 10% once it broke back underneath. And yeah, as you can see right there, that was my trade for the day on Nvidia. Super solid day trade towards the upside. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, I appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub, and I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Peace.